The Bible seems to contradict itself on this point. The gospel writer Matthew tells us, "Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil." Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. But James writes, "God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone." James 1:13. If God can't be tempted, and if Jesus is God, then how was Jesus tempted in the wilderness? This isn't just an academic footnote. It cuts to the heart of what Jesus achieved and how he can help us. Did he truly struggle out there, or was it all just a performance? Did he actually feel what we feel? The answer resolves the contradiction, and it makes Jesus more relevant to your life, not less. So I want to take a few minutes to think about it with you and then share why all of it makes a difference in your walk with Christ. To understand how Matthew chapter 4 and James 1 are both true and that they don't contradict each other, we have to nuance this just a little bit. First, we need to think about Jesus, and second, we need to think about temptation. When Jesus was born, he took on human nature without losing his divine nature. He became one person with two true natures, united but unmixed. Truly human and truly God. One person, two natures. Now, the difference between Jesus' humanity and ours is that sinfulness did not flow through his veins. He wasn't corrupt or dysfunctional like us. But that doesn't mean he didn't experience fatigue or sickness, hunger or thirst. He did not have Adam's corruption, but he lived under Adam's condition. The curse. Humanity is broken. Life is hard. And Jesus chose to live right in the middle of it. So Jesus, in the wilderness, alone, fasting from food and water for 40 days, experienced what you and I would have experienced at that time, minus sin. And there, right when he was at his weakest, at the end of those 40 days, that's when Satan came to tempt him. So next, we need to think about temptation. And here's where the confusion lies. The Greek word peirasmos, temptation, or peirazo, which is the verb to tempt, covers both testing and temptation. It's the same word, but you have a different actor, different motive, different direction. A mugger uses a blade to cut and inflict harm. A surgeon uses a blade to cut and create healing. Same blade, same hurt, but different purposes. Similarly, what determines the meaning of the Greek verb to tempt or to test is the one who is doing the action. If Satan is doing it, it's tempting. If God is doing it, it's testing. But it's hard to draw out that distinction in an English translation, which is why the confusion exists. James isn't contradicting Matthew. He's just making a distinction the whole Bible assumes. God tests to strengthen and reveal. Satan tempts to destroy. In my other video on this passage, I emphasized how both God and Satan had designs for Jesus in the wilderness. Both wanted the desert, but each had different purposes for Jesus. Satan wanted Jesus to fall. God wanted Jesus to stand. Satan wanted to draw Jesus toward evil, to distrust God and abandon his ways. God wanted Jesus to learn dependence, overcome evil, and uphold what's good. Satan tempts, God tests. That's not a footnote, that's the game. Now that we've nuanced Jesus and temptation, let's get into what actually happened. How did Satan actually come to him? He didn't attack randomly. Satan waited for the lowest moment, day 40. Jesus was starving, isolated, physically spent. Satan isn't careless. He does not charge whenever you're strong and rested. He watches. He waits. He picked the moment Jesus was most depleted. And then he came with reasonable sounding offers. Each one had a kernel of truth in it. Hey, Jesus, you're hungry. Make some bread. You are the Son of God. Show it. You will rule the nations. Why wait? Here's a faster path. Satan offered the destination without the cross, the shortcut without the obedience. Every offer had the same agenda. Get Jesus to act independently of the Father, bypass God's plan, and take the easier road. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the pastor, the spy, he captured Satan's method really well whenever he wrote this. Satan does not here fill us with hatred of God, but with forgetfulness of God. That's his signature move. Satan doesn't want you to rage against God. He just wants to make God fuzzy in your thinking so that your desires become vivid. And that's what he tried to do with Jesus, to replace obedience to the Father with a quicker, less painful road. But Jesus refused each time with his Father's word. Right there, though, is where you and I, as fallen humans, differ from Jesus. As fallen humans, we have wayward cravings. James calls it an evil desire in James 1:14. It's the inward pull toward what's sinful, seeing as delightful what's destructive and godless. The thought leads to desire, and the desire leads toward action. Both the desire and the action are sinful. Satan tries to find a potential accomplice on the inside of every human being so that he can move from the thought to the desire level. There he can find a door that's left unlocked and then just walk right through. In Jesus, though, he found no door of evil desire. But his assault on Jesus was real. Jesus was hungry. That's a natural and healthy desire. And so Satan went and did a tap dance on Jesus' hunger, hoping to get Jesus to satisfy that natural desire and therefore say yes to an evil one. But Jesus never went there. Despite the radical hunger, that never translated into an evil craving that would have pulled him away from God and toward the bait. There was no corrupted desire inside him for Satan to exploit. John Owen, the Puritan writer, put it like this: temptations put nothing inside a man, but only draw out what was in him before. In Jesus, there was nothing to draw out. Satan brought every hook he had, but nothing inside Jesus caught. So in summary, Jesus experienced temptation at the head level, but not at the heart level or hand level, the desire or the action. He never believed God wasn't good. He never desired any path other than his Father's. Nevertheless, in his humanity and human frailty, Satan pushed Jesus as close to the line as is humanly possible without crossing it. C.S. Lewis expresses this in a brilliant way. This quote is lengthy, but is worth hearing. He said, "No man knows how bad he is till he has tried very hard to be good." A silly idea is current that good people do not know what temptation means, but this is an obvious lie. Only those who try to resist temptation know how strong it is. After all, you find out the strength of the German army by fighting against it, not by giving in. He was writing around the time of World War II. He keeps going. You find out the strength of wind by trying to walk against it, not by lying down. A man who gives in to temptation after 5 minutes simply does not know what it would have been like an hour later. This is why bad people, in one sense, know very little about badness. They have lived a sheltered life by always giving in. We never find out the strength of the evil impulse inside us until we try to fight it. And Christ, because he was the only man who never yielded to temptation, is the only man who knows to the full what temptation means. Okay, that's what Jesus experienced, but what does that mean for you and me? It means that the person who never truly gave in is the only one who truly knows how strong the enemy is. And because he endured every strategy Satan could throw at humanity, and he won, Jesus knows what it takes to overcome. But he doesn't only have the insight to overcome evil, he has it in his power to give us the insight and strength we need to overcome as well. The writer of the letter to the Hebrews made this point: "Therefore, since we have a great high priest who has ascended into heaven, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to the faith we profess. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to empathize with our weaknesses, but we have one who has been tempted in every way, just as we are, yet he did not sin." Hebrews chapter 4, verses 14 through 15. So think about what that means. Jesus is not watching your struggle from the grandstands. He's been on the field. He didn't just survive it, he beat it. And he ascended into heaven after his resurrection for your good. That Jesus is in heaven with the Father is a benefit for you. He is actively representing you before the Father to give you what you need, how you need it, when you need it most. No matter your struggle, Jesus is capable of helping and willing to help. And so based on that truth, the writer to the Hebrews made this conclusion. Let us then approach God's throne of grace with confidence, so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in our time of need. So that's it for this video. My name is Aaron Massey. I've been following Jesus and teaching the Bible since 2009. On this channel, I'm offering gospel clarity for confident faith. If you want to go deeper on Jesus' temptation, check out my other video on it. I think you'll find it interesting. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.